Oh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling versus WWE. We said that completely backwards, but doesn't matter. The weekly series where we take the events and shows that the WWE books, book them in the game, and see just how well WWE does against TEW, or if TEW will be the three-letter company that brings the WWE to its knees. We are booking the first Smackdown since Money in the Bank, or I guess you can say the first Smackdown into the build of Extreme Rules. I mentioned this on 205 Live, but I know some of you guys don't really watch 205 Live, despite my joke of it being everybody's favorite show. But we are not in the correct area we are supposed to be in Smackdown. I can't remember off the top of my head. Actually, if I scroll down, maybe. We were supposed to be here, the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio, but just like Money in the Bank, we needed to use James Ellsworth tonight, and I wasn't going to have enough time to hire him in between Money in the Bank and SmackDown, considering it's literally just Monday that's in between those 2 days pretty much, and I highly doubt he was going to accept on a Tuesday. So we just went ahead, bit the bullet, scheduled the show to where he is located in, that way we can use him, and by next week he should be on our under contract, I should say, and on our roster. Trying too many words at once here, I guess. Nonetheless, let's just jump in on this show. Interesting show here. Main event is a 5-man gauntlet match for the #1 contendership for the WWE Championship. Not a whole lot of matches here tonight, and not really until we get to the gauntlet match, at least. Nonetheless, though, we open up the night with a 62 solid C rating here as Paige announces the 5-man gauntlet match for later on tonight. She talks about how Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles is over. Tonight we're going to see a new contender as Big E, Rusev, The Miz, Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan will all be fighting inside the gauntlet match to figure out who's going to be facing AJ Styles. And if you don't know what a gauntlet match is, 2 people start off. Someone loses, the next person comes out to replace the loser, so on and so forth until last man standing, pretty much. And I guess that spoils who wins right there. I didn't think this was going to affect the storyline, but I guess that's my bad. I forgot to make it a minor, but who cares. 39 D- as we open up SmackDown the same way we opened up Monday Night Raw with the SmackDown, aka the Women's Champion, coming down, just like Alexa Bliss started off. Carmella, she kind of does the same exact thing Alexa Bliss does, herself. Like, she kind of stole Alexa Bliss's gimmick, I feel, where she starts talking about how, she wanted to be real with everybody for a second, and how she had, like, what was it, self-esteem issues growing up, and blah, 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 and how this has really helped her. But then she quickly tricks the crowd and is like, psych, me have self-esteem issues? Like I said, she tried to pull it off the Alexa Bliss way, but it was obviously... I didn't fall for it. I don't think anybody in the crowd fell for it, because they didn't really boo her like Alexa Bliss does. But, yeah, Carmella talks her shit. Asuka's music hits. Down comes, obviously, James Ellsworth in Asuka's gear. I could easily tell it was him. I mean, he's trying to mimic her as best as he could. The commentators don't even commentate until he gets, like, to the ring. But it's easily James Ellsworth. Ellsworth comes out. He even takes the mic. He talks about how he's back pretty much, and that Asuka wasn't ready for Ellsworth, blah, blah, blah. He's here to serve his queen, pretty much, or princess, I guess. This leads to Asuka making a beeline to the ring, kind of like Ronda Rousey did. Like I said, this is pretty similar to Raw's opening angle. She gets into the ring, and James Ellsworth kind of gets in her face, and he pays for it with a kick to the gut. And then Carmella catches Asuka off guard with a super kick, taking her down momentarily as her and James leave the ring together. Cooled the crowd a little bit, advanced the storyline between her and Carmella. James Ellsworth made the best of this appearance, improving in acting, learning to show more charisma, and developing better performance skills. Good on you, James. By the way, Bird is still here. I don't know if you guys can hear him. 39 D- as we get hyped for a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match that'll take place later on tonight. Of course, featuring Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and the Tag Team Champions, the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan. 40 D- as we see Becky Lynch I guess she's getting ready for her match, but she's like trying on goggles. It was kind of stupid. But Becky Lynch is in action, and she will be taking on Billie Kay, which is hyped, 36 D minus. 40 D minus before the match begins. The IKonics making their way down to the ring. They go ahead and mock Becky Lynch just like they do pretty much every week against their opponents. Billie Kay acts like she's interviewing Becky Lynch while Peyton Royce is doing the accent. Not her best accent this time around, if I say so myself. They just talk their shit pretty much. They call Becky Lynch Charlotte's troll of a sidekick. Nothing too special here for the IKonics. Just more of what we've been seeing. Match itself gets a 47 solid D rating here. Poor matchup. Becky Lynch goes over Billie Kay in 8 minutes, 3 seconds with the disarm her. Peyton Royce, distracted Becky Lynch. She also interfered, but it did not help matters because Lynch still pulls away with the victory. Interesting enough here, Becky Lynch and Billie Kay have great chemistry with each other, and it showed in their performance, so maybe WWE will go back to that match more often. Billie Kay with an in-ring performance of a 42, Becky Lynch with a 46. I thought about creating a storyline here because, in my honest opinion, I feel like there is a story here. I feel like it's the IKonics taking on Becky and Charlotte, but I'm going to wait until it's actually more confirmed to make a storyline. I don't want to start a storyline and then it not be addressed for like the next couple of weeks. 60 solid C as we get a recap of the last man standing match from the Money in the Bank between... Oh, wait, no, this isn't the last man standing match. My apologies. Recap of the match last week on Smackdown between Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, where Nakamura hit Jeff Hardy with the Kinshasa and then counted to 10 before, of course, his last man standing match in Money in the Bank. Excuse me. I'm all over the place tonight. We will see that, though, so that is a fair mistake if I say so. 70 C plus rating as Jeff Hardy is backstage. He's cutting a promo on Shinsuke Nakamura. He mentions how Nakamura lost to AJ Styles, but he still's got a memory replaying in his head of when Shinsuke, need him right in the eye. He used some pretty big words. I can't remember. It was like, it reverberated through my retina or something like that. Interesting promo here from Jeff Hardy as he turns around, reveals that he has face paint on. He talks about how his eyes were closed, but now they're open, and he opens his eyes. Of course, his eyelids were painted to make it look like their eyes, and once he opens his eyes, he has the, like, Brother Nero broken gimmick contact lens. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see where they're taking Jeff Hardy. Like, is Jeff Hardy becoming Woken, or is this just an entirely new gimmick for Jeff Hardy, pretty much combining his old WWE face paint gimmick with the Woken gimmick of the, contact lens or something like that. All I know is I'm interested to see where they're taking Jeff Hardy. We did go ahead and change his picture to the face paint as well, but I enjoyed this promo. I'm excited to see where this feud goes. I think it's interesting to see, Shinsuke Nakamura, who has a unique charisma on his own, in a feud with someone like Jeff Hardy. It's like two guys with, like, unique charisma. What does Jeff Hardy call his stuff? Imagination or something like that. So I think this is going to be a fun feud. 58 C- as we get hyped for the Gauntlet match, of course, featuring Big E, Rusev, The Miz, Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan. We then get a hype segment, I guess, or a brief little hype segment for Sanity as Chaos has arrived. We see off-screen the silhouettes of Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf. And Sanity has arrived, or should I say Chaos has arrived. I read something interesting online before we jump in on the Sanity thing as to why WWE held them off for so long. And apparently it's because Vince McMahon or whoever, didn't really care for the name Sanity, and he wanted to change the name of Sanity to Chaos. Believe it or not. That's why, we were seeing Chaos has arrived and stuff like that, because that's what they wanted to change the name to. But I guess this kind of shows Vince McMahon or WWE's, what's the word I guess I'm looking for? Pretty much their lack of knowledge of their competitors, because they didn't know that New Japan Pro Wrestling already had a wrestling stable named Chaos. In fact, some of the New Japan wrestlers poked fun at it, like Will Ospreay was like, we're coming to WWE, and Other members were like, no, we're not going to the WWE. So unfortunately for WWE, they weren't able to get the rights for the name Chaos. So Sanity is what it stuck with. Coming up, oh, excuse me. Before we can get the announcement of what's coming up next, Big Break John comes through with his 100A star. Thank you, Big Break John. Now we come in with the upcoming matchup. 32E plus rating. Sanity's not over. Remember that, guys. As the matchup between Usos versus Sanity is hyped for next. That, of course, featuring Jimmy J of the Usos and then Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf of Sanity. 73B-, as before the match begins, we get hyped for the Super Show that'll be taking place in Australia. Of course, featuring Triple H versus The Undertaker for the last time, and Ronda Rousey, John Cena, and AJ Styles all expected to make appearances. 58C-, as we jump backstage to Renee Young, who is about to interview Daniel Bryan. She comments on, Daniel Bryan, how is he going to survive tonight's gauntlet match? Bryan puts over that he's not going to survive. He's going to win. He's in there with 3 other great competitors in Rusev, Samoa Joe, and Big E. Renee Young brings up The Miz, and that's when Bryan says, I said 3 great in-ring competitors. Definitely shitting on The Miz pretty much. So Bryan just hyping up the gauntlet match, doing his thing. They even bring up Big Cass, which is interesting because Big Cass was released like moments before. You would think that they would try to like avoid it as much as possible, but maybe it was already written in, so you can't really avoid it. 31E plus rating here as the Usos, they make their entrance. Then they cut a quick little pre-match promo, pretty much welcoming Sanity to the Uso Penitentiary. And then we jump into the match, which isn't much of a match. 37D-, as Sanity make their way down to the ring for the first time ever on SmackDown Live. As soon as they get in the ring, they go right after Usos before the bell can ring, beating down Jimmy, beating down Jay, beating down the former tag team champions, leaving them laying in the ring as they stand tall over the chaos that they just caused, I guess. Gained heat for the feud between the two teams, I guess. And what do we got here? Oh, we got some changes. Let's go ahead and do it. We'll have Eric Young, who apparently got a poor rating on his anarchist gimmick. Thank you. Alexander Wolf got an average rating on his maniac gimmick. And I guess Killian Dane's not changing. Sucks for Eric Young, though. Got a poor rating. Killian Dane, no, not too bad. Or excuse me, not Killian Dane. Alexander Wolf. No worker improvements. Didn't press the button either, I guess. 45 solid D rating, as once again the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match is hyped, and it's next. Luke Gallows and Anderson take on the Bludgeon Brothers for the titles in a rematch from Money in the Bank's pre-show. 51 D plus. Before the match begins, we get a quick little backstage, segment from the Good Brothers here, as they talk about how great of a shape they are in. Gallows tells Carl Anderson to show the double A abs. He pulls them out. Bang! There they are. Anderson in the best shape of his career. He tells Gallows, why don't you show off your abs? Gallows, he starts going, like he's lifting up his shirt like he's going. He goes, you know what? No, your abs are enough. Let's not give him too much. Pretty much, I like their delivery. They are funny guys. I want to see more from Carl Anderson and Gallows. I enjoyed what I saw on them on Raw, and then this segment right here, just Gallows himself. He has great delivery, like how he just starts lifting up his shirt slowly, and he goes, no, never mind. Definitely made me chuckle. I had a good time with this segment. Enjoyed it. In fact, I loved them back, and they were 2 of my favorite acts in the Southpaw Regional Wrestling skits. I really hope WWE makes like a show of that. Like, I think that should be a WWE Network show. That's how funny that stuff is. But great stuff from the Good Brothers here. As we jump into the Bludgeon Brothers neck, who are staring passionately into each other's eyes as we get ready for our matchup here. 69C plus, as both were rated on Menace. And then we get a recap, this time for sure, not Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke this time, but this time for sure a recap of the last man standing match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura from Money in the Bank. 68C plus for that. Then we jump to a 69C plus, and I just commented on Anderson and Gallows' delivery with their promo, and then we go to Shinsuke Nakamura, who's honestly got excellent delivery. He owned this promo here tonight. Renee Young, she expresses how Nakamura, asked for this time, and she She wants to know, Nakamura's reaction to his loss against AJ Styles. Nakamura puts over the fact how the referee was not, counting in Japanese and says it was very unfair. He couldn't understand him. And then Renee goes on to ask about Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy had some words for him. Shinsuke goes on to say, who? Right when she says about Jeff Hardy, and then she goes, Jeff Hardy, like, kind of louder, and Nakamura's just like, no need to yell. Oh my god, he's great. His heel turn is amazing. He pretty much just tells Jeff if, he crosses him, his eyes may be open now, but he's going to close them. So it gained some heat for that feud as well. Then we jump into our tag team championship matchup. I'm not entirely sure what this got from the pay-per-view, so I don't know if this did better or worse. I did check, but I slipped my mind. I'm sorry. I'm going to assume it did worse, though, because it looks like Gallows was off his game, even though he took a lot of the heat in this match. 54 C- rating here for the tag team championship matchup. Decent wrestling, not much weighing heat. The Bludgeon Brothers go over Gallows and Anderson in 8 minutes, 49 seconds after Rowan defeats Carl Anderson with a full Nelson Slam. It was kind of like the aided powerbomb move. I should change that, to be honest. They make their third defense of the tag team championship match, titles here. Good back and forth, or not really back and forth match, because the early portions of the match, Anderson was taken out when he was like pretty much sent face first into the apron. Gallows took a lot of the heat from the Bludgeon Brothers, but he got the hot tag. Anderson came in like a Spitfire or whatever you call that stuff. Looking good. Love his spine busters. He throws a beautiful spine buster. But it was not meant to be because the Bludgeon Brothers still pulled out the victory. Gallows really off his game, but we already know about Gallows and Anderson having great chemistry with each other. Anderson with a 53 in-ring performance. Luke Gallows with a 46. Harper with a 59, the best of the match. Rowan, his partner, with a 42, the worst of the match. That gained heat for the feud, but honestly, I think this feud is over. If they're going in the direction I think they're going. 68 C+ as Daniel Bryan starts to make his way down to the ring for the gauntlet match. But during his entrance, he kind of has a stare down with both the Bludgeon Brothers here. And then before the match, or I guess as we go into our commercial break, we get to see all the four members alongside, of course, Aiden English with Rusev and Kofi and Xavier with Big E, getting pretty much warming up for the upcoming gauntlet match. 57 C- as Miz is practicing Miz Jitsu. Aiden English is pretty much hyping Rusev up. I don't remember what Samoa Joe was doing. Maybe he was just warming up, punching the air. I can't really remember. But the New Day was doing squats, like Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston had Big E on their shoulders while doing squats with him, so thought that was interesting. Xavier Woods getting better at his gimmick apparently as well. No worker improvements though. First match of the gauntlet. Wow, this is actually really accurate. This rating here, but I'll get to that in a moment. First match of, I guess, what is it? 5? Yeah, 5 of the gauntlet match here. 66 C+ rating here, and a good matchup. Daniel Bryan goes over Big E in 11 minutes 47 seconds. This match was a great match. Great opening match for the gauntlet match. Bryan and Big E, I think they have great chemistry. And like I said, the Road Agent report here, I've never seen this note before. This is my first time seeing this note in Total Extreme Wrestling. It makes a note of saying that Daniel Bryan made Big E look particularly strong. And I agree. In this matchup in real life, IRL, Bryan made Big E look great in this matchup. So that's why I think it's incredible that TEW made the same note of it. And I don't think, I didn't do anything. This is all the game. Daniel Bryan made Big E look particularly strong, so that's amazing. That's awesome how accurate that actually was. Bryan got the victory over Big E with the, I believe, the knee, taking him out. Bryan had an in-ring performance of an 80. Big E with a 61. No worker improvements. As we jump in, yeah, right here. Dean Malenko says Daniel Bryan kindly used his superior skills to make Big E look particularly strong. The match was better as a result. That's awesome. I've never seen that before. We then go to match 2 of the gauntlet match. 62 solid C rating here. Short matchup, extremely short matchup, I should say. Daniel Bryan goes over Samoa Joe in 4 minutes, 41 seconds with count out. So pretty much the match, Joe was kind of just dominating majority of the match. got the coquina clutch locked in on Bryan on the outside of the ring, pretty much trying to make him pass out before the 10 count. But Bryan was able to kick off the fan barricade, rolling out of the coquina clutch and making his way back into the ring before the 10 count. Unfortunately, Samoa Joe was not, which led to him being counted out. Matches are better announcing, apparently. Daniel Bryan had an in-ring performance of a 78, Samoa Joe with a 71. Bryan is also improving in Rumble skills. Before we can get to the next matchup of the Gauntlet match, the Bludgeon Brothers, surprise, surprise, make their way back out to the ring, sliding into the ring, catching Bryan off guard, and attacking him mid-match, pretty much costing him this Gauntlet match. 74 B-. We did go ahead and start a feud between Daniel Bryan and the Bludgeon Brothers. I think this is where they're going with it. At least I hope this is where they're going with it. I could be wrong. 74 B- for that, though. Bludgeon Brothers rated on Menace, so this will definitely help them, I feel. And then we jump into the third Gauntlet matchup here. 54 C- rating here in an extremely short match. Miz rushes down to the ring, hits the skull-crushing finale on Daniel Bryan. 43 seconds later, Miz beats Daniel Bryan, and it's pretty much a dominating fashion. Daniel Bryan got no action in at all. Miz hits the skull-crushing finale. Second he gets in the ring, 1, 2, 3, he eliminates him. Match probably didn't even go on for 43 seconds. It probably went on 40 seconds less than that. Nonetheless, Miz moves on. Daniel Bryan with an in-ring performance of a 76. Miz with a 57. No worker improvements. As we jump into our main event of the night. Miz versus Rusev. #1 contendership on the line. One of these two will face AJ Styles at Extreme Rules. 62 solid C here. Decent matchup. Rusev goes over the Miz in 9 minutes, 7 seconds by making him tap out to the Accolade. This match was alright. Nothing too special here. Kind of slow. Miz really locking in the headlock on Rusev for majority of the matchup. Like I said, nothing too special here. Rusev able to make the Miz tap out. Miz with an in-ring performance of a 62. Rusev 1 point better with a 63. And then we end off the show with a 62 solid C as the WWE Champion AJ Styles makes his way down to the ring. Him and Rusev come face to face. AJ extends his hand. Rusev shakes his hand. And then Aiden English kind of plays a little bit of a game with AJ Styles as he goes to shake, extend his hand to shake AJ's hand as well. AJ kind of, like, okay, I guess I'll shake your hand. He goes to shake Aiden's hand, but Aiden pulls it away. He pays for it because, Nakamura. I don't know why I said that. AJ Styles just pretty much socks Aiden right in the jaw, taking him down. Rusev's like, what are you doing? And that ends there. So a little bit of a weird way to end SmackDown if you ask me, but gained heat for the feud nonetheless. So we end off the show and we get a 77 solid B rating here. Not entirely sure how we got a 77 solid B rating, but I'll take it. Increasing our popularity in 27 regions, and we've got some new feuds. Rusev getting his first ever WWE Championship matchup against AJ Styles. Nakamura and Jeff Hardy in a feud that I'm actually really excited about. We've got Daniel Bryan possibly taking on the Bludgeon Brothers. Sanity and the Usos. Things are getting good on SmackDown. Things are getting good, I will say that. I enjoyed SmackDown this week. A lot of people seem to have enjoyed SmackDown this week. My buddy Zach enjoyed it. I've heard all good things about SmackDown this week, so more of this, please. It'll be interesting to see, because I don't think, AJ's losing to Rusev, but it'll be interesting to see how this feud goes, if they can suspend that disbelief. I do kind of want to wait for this to finish, but it does take a while, so I guess I'll start doing the outro, and if it does, we can see how 205 Live and SmackDown did, and maybe even call up Leo Rush. If not, that's fine. Either way, though, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name has been OMG WTF LOLFTWBRB. I will see you guys in the Monday Night Raw episode. And as always, if you guys have enjoyed, I think I've already said this, share this video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, Instagrams, I don't give a damn. All the social media accounts out there. Help your boy out by helping me get some more subscribers. In fact, if you feel you had a buddy out there who would enjoy my content, maybe give them a view and help me get some subscribers up in this bitch. Always, I've got some friends down below you can check in the description. I highly recommend checking out ZachManziNVO over on Twitch. Very active. streams about maybe 2 hours every day. Then you got my buddy Raging Yoshi, very active on YouTube. Been doing Final Fantasy X, working on changing up his channel. Think changes are coming. But I guess we're not going to be able to make it. It'll probably end right as I end this video, but I will see you guys later. Have a great day.